people have been following, of course, the uh, controversy over the fitness of Joe Biden, to not just be the candidate for the Democratic Party in the next election, but whether he's even capable now, given his obvious and severe cognitive decline, to remain as president for the next however many months until his term ends. And so the effort to get rid of him, of course, he's now become known as Genocide Joe for being the main sponsor and supporter, implacably uh, insistent on supporting and arming Israel's genocide and protecting it from consequences. And as we've seen, even sort of centrists and right wing members of the Democratic Party and Democratic leadership, for example, James Carville, a famous Democratic Party political operative, had an op-ed in the New York Times yesterday saying Joe Biden has to go. He can't win. We need someone else. Of course, he wants another sort of centrist right winger to be in there. He doesn't want, someone from the left wing of the Democratic Party, to the extent there is a left wing. But so even people like James Carville are turning against Joe Biden and other right wingers. But Joe Biden
Thomas
is fine.
Friedman.
Thomas Friedman, a New York Times columnist. But I'm talking about within the party, the moneyed class, the right-wing donors of the Democratic Party, the billionaires, the Silicon Valley types, are all turning against Joe Biden and saying he can't win against Donald Trump. We need someone else if we're going to hold on to the White House and not risk losing the House or the Senate, and if we have any chance of winning back the House and so on. But some surprising voices are coming forward to defend Joe Biden and say he is the nominee, and we're standing with him. Tamara, let's have the first one. Tamara, you take your pick which one you want to put up first. It'll be a surprise for people, including me. There we go. This is from the Washington Post yesterday. This was a long article talking about a meeting of the House Democratic Caucus, and it was a closed meeting, but then, of course, all sorts of people leaked. And they said, so I'll read this paragraph. A person familiar with the House Democratic conversation who spoke on the condition of anonymity to freely discuss internal dynamics said the mood shifted Monday back towards supporting Joe Biden, when more liberal members of the party, including Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York, began saying that Biden is the clear Democratic nominee and that they will work to re-elect him. So Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, the sort of standard bearer of the squad, the so-called progressive wing in the Democratic Party, championing Genocide Joe Biden. Incredible. Let's look at the next one, and this will also surprise people if they haven't seen it. Quite shocking, you know. Oh, let's take a look at this video. Go ahead, Tamara.
Spoken with him extensively. He made clear then, and he has made clear since, that he is in this race. The matter is closed. He had reiterated that this morning. He has reiterated that to the public. Joe Biden is our nominee. He is not leaving this race. He is in this race, and I support him. Now, what I think is critically important right now is that we focus on what it takes to win in November, because he is running against Donald Trump, who is a man with 34 felony convictions that has committed 34 felony crimes, and not a single Republican has asked for Donald Trump to not be the nominee. I'm here to win on this democracy. I'm here to win in November. And what's critically important is what I believe that the president needs to do, and I have communicated this, what the president and the White House should do in order to make sure that we win in November. And that is making sure that
well, I think we can. I think we've heard enough. I think we've heard enough. I mean, the point is, what do you think? I mean,
it's unbelievable. I mean, it's believable at this stage, but it's just disgusting. Like, she's speaking so passionately You know, I've never seen her speak about anything so passionately as supporting this genocidal monster. You know,
And she even said that the US is supporting a genocide or facilitating a genocide. I can't remember the exact term, but she did use the word genocide in Gaza. But she's saying she's passionately behind the one person on this planet who is most responsible for giving Israel the means to conduct this genocide, and the one person who can actually stop it. And she's saying, you know, the topic is closed. And let's remember that members of the Democratic Party, the American public, did not get to vote on Joe Biden being the nominee. There were uncontested primaries in a few states. The Democratic Party canceled them in many states. The Democratic National Committee refused to sponsor any debates among potential nominees. And they're claiming that, I mean, Biden is simply being imposed, and the Democratic Party is refusing any sort of democratic process that could, lead to him, to someone else being picked. I mean, they're picking the one person most responsible for this genocide. But AOC is not the only person in the squad doing that. Someone else is doing that too. Let's take a look at this. This is also from the Washington Post, and this is referencing Ilhan Omar, the first Muslim in Congress,
so disappointing,
who is seen as being, one of the champions of Palestinian rights within Congress and within the Democratic Party, to the extent that such champions exist. And the Washington Post saying that she is among those embracing Biden's re-election run. And here's a quote from her: "He's been the best president of my lifetime, and we have his back," said Omar, who blasted Biden's Middle East policy. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. He's been the best president of my lifetime who is perpetrating genocide. I mean, you just can't even make sense of it.
It's disgusting. Again, like, I'm very proud at the Electronic Intifada that we, from the beginning, we did hold the so-called squad to account. You know, we've done some very good reporting. You've done some very good reporting. Tamara's done some excellent reporting on them, and not, buying into the hype, and supporting them when they said good things, and holding them to account when they've been terrible, as has been almost entirely the case. I mean, Ilhan Omar, I got to say, is far more disappointing to me personally than AOC. I don't think I ever really trusted AOC, but Ilhan Omar saying something like this is, to me, is a real betrayal.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just quite extraordinary. And we're not here to give people advice on how to vote or who to vote for, but I think it just gives the sense that, as I've said before, we're not going to be able to vote our way out of genocide.
Yeah, 100%. And it's very similar dynamics in a lot of ways to what's been happening in the UK, with the Labour Party and everything. We can't. There are people who, liberals mostly, who are happy about Labour Party coming in, and they want to get the Tories out and so forth. Well, what I always say to that is, what's the point in getting the Tories out if the Conservatives, what's the point in getting them out when the alternative is just more of the same policies? The Labour government is going to be carrying out almost exactly the same policies. I think we are going to see a lot of continuity, and it's the same with Joe Biden. Trump would have, if Trump had been in place, he would have been doing very similar things, I would think, to what Biden is doing now, which is supporting this genocide and driving forward this genocide.
And I just want to say also, because when we do have these discussions, or when we have them on social media, people will say to me, "Ali, but do you want Trump to win? He'll be even worse for the Palestinians." Let me just say, there's nothing worse than genocide. There's nothing worse than genocide.
That's what you've said all along, and
there's nothing worse than genocide. he might be the same. He might be as bad, but don't tell us that there's, as Palestinians, don't tell Palestinians that there's something worse than what Joe Biden has done to the Palestinian people and is
Yeah.
doing right now.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
Well, we'll have sadly months more of America. You know, the one thing to be said about French elections and British elections, they happen quickly,
Yeah.
whereas American ones drag on
Small
and on.
mercies.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit like, leave a comment. These engagements help us with the YouTube algorithm, and it helps us to get around Silicon Valley censorship as much as possible. It does make a difference. You can also support our journalism by going to electronicintifada.net and clicking on donate now. Thank you.